So up next is the Internet of Things group. Please welcome to the stage the judges for the Internet of Things group, moderated by Debjit Mukerji of Siemens TTB. Yeah, woohoo!
Everybody, it's a pleasure and a privilege to be moderating the session on IoT. I am Debjit Mukerji. I'm a director at Siemens Technology to Business, or TTB for short. We are one of the corporate external innovation groups at Siemens, along with Siemens Venture Capital. And we have a unique model in the sense that we don't provide equity investments to startups. We kind of forge strategic collaborations between startups and our businesses. So we're really close to the businesses, finding fits with our portfolios and using external innovation to help accelerate our growth. And IoT is a very important area for Siemens, as you can imagine. Siemens is a big German company. We have about 340,000 employees, about $90 billion in revenue, and businesses ranging from healthcare, manufacturing, and infrastructure of all types, like buildings, transportation, smart grid, and so forth. So IoT, industrial IoT specifically, is impacting all of our businesses and really impacting our entire value chain, from design and engineering to real-time operations to maintenance and value-added services. So we're looking at startups kind of across the board, and I think it'll have a disruptive impact on what we do in the future. With TTB, if you're a startup or an investor and potentially want to work with us, please feel free to find us. For the startups in particular, we're kind of a gateway to Siemens, so we effectively become your champion to make strategic connections inside the company. There's obviously lots of sources of capital in Silicon Valley in particular, and really the value that we provide is being able to route you directly to the decision makers and the right people within Siemens and make things happen. So with that, let the rest of the panelists introduce themselves.
Sure. Hi, honored to be here. Thank you. I'm at the early stage venture arm for Samsung. We do seed, Series A, Series B, check size up to 3 million. IoT is obviously a huge focus for Samsung and for my team. I led our investment in UniKey, which is a smart lock company. You can open and close your door using your phone. You get rid of your keys completely. My colleague did our investment in Filament, which is industrial IoT. Use the blockchain basically to allow infrastructure to communicate with each other. My division also acquired SmartThings, which many of you here in the room might be familiar with. It's 200 engineers basically now in downtown Palo Alto, creating an IoT platform that's interoperable. So I lead our consumer IoT thesis, and very excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Robin Lee of GGV Capital. GGV Capital is a cross-border VC fund. We manage about $3.8 billion, and we've been around for 16 years. And we invest primarily in US and China, and some in Europe and Southeast Asia as well. And so we have 3 verticals, IoT being one of our core verticals. We have 16 portfolio companies in IoT right now, and we are multi-stage. So we can put anything in from seed to IPO and beyond. And so we're currently investing out of our 6th fund, a $1.2 billion fund, and a third of that will be dedicated to IoT.
Hi, my name is Punit Chiniwalla. I help run the venture office of Innovate, which is a venture firm that's backed by Singapore Telecom and the Singapore Telecom Group. IoT for us is a category. It's one of many that we look at, but in that category, we're quite active in the middleware layers and the analytics layers around there, as well as a few endpoints. So, thank you.
Great. You guys are ready to start then with the companies.
Okay, so we're ready for our first company. Yeah. All right, coming all the way from Spain, please welcome Marc Fabregas Bachs with Zolertia.
Thank you. Good morning. IoT is not going to be anymore about connected devices. IoT is going to be about intelligent, autonomous, and interfacing devices that will use internet to interface with us. That's our vision in Zolertia. So do you remember in the 90s when we had first cell phones and we were thinking on a new way of communicating one to each other? Later, the smartphones arrived, and at the beginning we just thought that was a cool way to keep communicating, but it wasn't just like that. It was a completely new platform of new ideas, new business models. That's what we are applying to the Internet of Things, and what we apply, for instance, in something more simple, like a lamp for one of our customers, Riva Lighting. Riva Lighting was facing a problem. The market is demanding for new connected lamps. Their competitors are already doing that connected lamps, and they don't have the resources and the knowledge to do it. And that's where we help them. We just make it in 3 simple steps. Step 1, just took the Zol, our awesome product. Step 2, integrate it on an intermediate board. Step 3, interface with your existing product. So with this, Riva just go from having just a lamp to not a connected lamp, but a smart lamp, a true smart lamp. A smart lamp that can be integrated with a lot of IoT platforms and interface with a lot of IoT devices at the same time. And the amazing thing is that we make it just in 9 months from the conception to the market. So the basis of all this is the Zol, this tiny module. It's an IoT platform, hardware platform, to be integrated in products and enable them to connect to internet. Has some amazing features, especially the ultra-low power consumption, which enable what we call the Internet of Low Power Things. Also long-range communication, but I think that the most interesting one for our customers is how easy and fast it is to integrate on existing products. This is the team that make that possible, led by me, and including also some PhDs and engineers in telecommunications, electronics, and software based in Barcelona. And yes, we have competitors. We have a lot of companies that are trying to do connected things, trying to enable connected things. But if we think on the true smart things, and also on the Internet of Low Power Things, for the moment, there is just one solution there, Zolertia. Apparently, we are just a hardware platform, but we are not that like that. On top of this platform, this is running an operating system that is running apps on top, which enable us to create a marketplace where the users, where actually the things can buy and use the apps, downloading them from the internet and using like you are doing with your smartphone, but for the things. And for the moment, we are mostly spreading our hardware, enabling our customers to use these apps from the marketplace. But we really think that the marketplace is going to be the big business. What is going to make us to scale? We have actually a plan to scale up. It's what we call the 100 million plan. We want to have 100 million revenues in 3 years, starting from this year, where we will have 1 million revenues, and going through the next year with 10 millions. And we did fundraising for that, of course. We had some seed capital last year, just for bootstrapping. Now we are closing seed capital of 500Ks. Still, there are some tickets available if someone is interested. And the goal is consolidate Europe, our main market right now, and open here in US to go to a next stage, which is a Series A, beginning of next year of 5 million. So if you want to talk about the true smart IoT, talk to me. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for sharing with us. You're dealing with hardware and software. Let me focus on the first part here. Hardware requires manufacturing, requires distribution, and when I look at the competition you showed there, you have companies like Intel and Samsung. These are large companies with huge brands and huge distribution arms. How do you compete effectively with that?
Well, actually, we are just positioning on landscape where they are not working, which is the low power area, in case, for instance, on Intel or even Arctic, and actually the idea of a hardware platform with this marketplace where the apps are running, there is not existing anything like that. So it's a completely disruptive system. We are competing with them, just offering something completely new. In terms of the hardware, it's true, we are competing on the distribution channel, but we think that the software part, the apps, will traction the customers and will open us the distribution market as well.
A question about kind of who are your initial set of customers and who are your target customers and how would you get them?
Well, we are mainly right now working with industrial companies, so it's a B2B business that has already products and really think that can change the business model for the customers just doing IoT products. So as soon as they want to do IoT products as fast as possible, they use our hardware, our software, and make it as simple as river lighting did, as I mentioned before. We are not targeting consumers. I think I will not target in any case. So mainly industries and companies that want to create IoT products in smart cities, Industry 4.0, and transportation and logistics.
And you have a sales team that
Yes.
is going after them?
Yes, the team is actually pretty balanced. So we have 4 engineers, I'm leading the company, 2 salespeople, 1 marketing, and 1 for production.
So I have 2 questions. The first one is on sort of the apps layer you mentioned. If I understand this business, there's a hardware business you're in right now, there's the cloud business, the management layer, and then there's the application. What's an example of a smart app that someone would want to use?
So it's not exactly like that. I mean, it's at the end, the smartphone assembly, it's pretty clear. So the thing, it's running the software, and what it's only in the cloud is the marketplace. So you can download the apps from the marketplace and install it on the device, which is actually connected to internet.
You're facilitating other people to build on that marketplace. That's the concept.
Exactly. I mean, the marketplace is not only for our own apps.
Yep.
We have our own apps, but it's open to the third parties that want to create apps as well.
So it's like much more on your business kind of approach here. You plan to sort of 10x your revenue almost every year in the next 3 years, and it's a hardware company initially at least. How do you plan on financing the $100 million worth of revenue that you plan to do in 3 years?
Well, you mean for the manufacturing? Well,
Yes.
especially with partnerships with the manufacturers. Actually, part of the companies that are now going in this series, series, and later we look for in the Series A, will be actually industrial partners.
But you still have to carry that cost, right, somewhere?
Yeah, but we have a lot of margin, so I think that the financials are not going to be a problem as soon as we demonstrate the tracking that we plan.
Okay, thanks.
So one question I had is, do you, especially in industrial applications, do you see this as a retrofit opportunity, or do you see your devices being only really applicable in greenfield type of applications?
I think that right now the Internet of Things is in an early moment. A lot of things are out there that can gain a lot of value for the customers if you connect them. So for the moment, all the things that I'm seeing is retrofit. In the future, I mean, there are coming up a lot of companies, startups mainly, that want to create IoT products, just IoT from scratch. But it's something that we think that will be really be significant in something like 3, 4, 5 years. So for the moment, we just focus on retrofit.
So you're basically taking devices and saying, we now have a smart connected device through your product.
Yes, that's why this thing is pretty flexible, versatile, adapting to existing products and connecting them.
Okay, and you mentioned power. How do you power the device today? Is it operating on a coin cell, or do you do energy harvesting, or how does it work?
Once again, this is a pretty flexible option. So what we have is the lowest power consumption possible for a device connected to internet. It means that depending on your application, you can use or coin cell batteries, or you can use solar cells to power it, or other energy harvesting system. So it's very flexible. You can, river lighting is mainly using the power main, so that doesn't need this low power feature. But if you want to do a system, an IoT device, battery powered, this is the device you need for.
Any other questions from the group?
We'll take one more
Sure.
if you have time.
Yep.
You made a couple of very bold claims on your slides about 300x and 50x. Obviously, we don't have time to go into full depth here, but could you share a little bit more on the technology?
Yeah, the technology is based on the 6LoWPAN protocol, another standard. And the power consumption in the design we made can be up to 300 times less than technology like Wi-Fi. And the range we can keep it up to 20 kilometers. So it can be something like 50 times compared, for instance, to Bluetooth Low Energy, which is another wireless technology being used for IoT.
So in that 6LoWPAN, have you modified any elements of the stack?
No, we mainly give support for 6LoWPAN as the standard is.
Okay.
And what is the cost of your solution compared to your competitors right now?
Right now, in terms of cost, we are more or less in the same way that the main competitors. I mean, the competitors on the lower price. There are some competitors who are on a higher range, but with also other capabilities, more intended to be an embedded computer than an IoT module. So in terms of cost, we are more or less in the same, but we are giving much more features for the same price. That's the idea.
Okay, I think we're out of time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Please welcome, all the way from Korea, Bagel Labs, Soohong Park.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Soohong Park. I'm the CEO of Bagel Labs. At Bagel Labs, our mission is to connect size data to the internet. So when you describe an object, you say whether it's big or small, long or short. So these are all related with size. And as you can see, length is one of the most important factors to describe the condition of any object. So from home improvement, healthcare to fashion, size is measured in various parts of lives. But until now, these have been done in conventional ways by using traditional tape measure. So what happens if size information is missing? So when you shop for clothes online, this is what you expect, but this is what really happens. So we created our smart tape measure bagel, and we developed mobile app to help utilize size data in various ways. So let me give you some demo how our device works. Bagel allows 3 ways of measurement. First, sonic distance sensor and allows non-contact distance measurement. After you finish taking the measurement, you simply press the button and you save the data. But with your voice memo, voice tag, distance to the wall. And later on, our device can connect to our mobile app, and people can retrieve measurement time and measurement data, and you can see that our voice memo is translated into text by voice recognition in mobile app. So to summarize, Bagel allows 3 ways of measurement and supports voice recording and Bluetooth connection. And as I mentioned, our mobile app supports voice recognition, which translates voice memo into text tag and allows users to analyze or share data easily. And this mobile app can connect to our server automatically, and people don't have to worry about losing their data. So comparing with other devices, Bagel allows measurement under any circumstances and has digital display and have Bluetooth connection. And Bagel will be launched through crowdfunding platform such as Kickstarter or Indiegogo at the end of June. And later on, we'll deliver our product to customers targeting retail stores in North America. Our target market is not limited to tape measure market, but we are also trying to aim various industries by using collected data. For construction, you can create virtual blueprints, or you can purchase or sell building materials more easily and accurately. For healthcare, as you know, waste size is one of the most important factors to track. And we think we'll be able to fill in the current gap by providing size information of human body with relatively inexpensive solution. For fashion, we are expecting huge paradigm shift will happen. People will be able to purchase made-to-order clothing online. So we initially start with hardware sales, but later on we'll move toward software sales. People will be able to receive information by subscribing. So people will be able to interact and revolutionize the way they utilize their sites by using our API services. So we are going to create services such as sign up with Bagel or log in with Bagel. So for example, when you shop for clothes online, you can log in with Bagel. You can essentially log in with your size, and you can see only clothes that fit yourself. So I'm the CEO and CTO. I received a PhD in engineering degree at Cambridge University, and I was working at Samsung prior to start this Bagel Labs. And we have 3 product developers and 2 business strategists. Thank you very much. It was Bagel Labs.
Hi. You mentioned a lot of other markets, construction, healthcare, fashion.
Yes.
And I can certainly see the use case here if I'm taking a lot of measurements.
Yes.
But I'm having a very hard time seeing consumers do this on a daily basis. Like the need that I have to do measurements as a consumer is very, very low. So I'm wondering how you're thinking about this.
So later we're going to make different lineups. So we are going to make a very light version of our tape measure, and we're going to just distribute our device to the customers so that we will be able to collect the size data from the customers. And regarding that, you know that return rates of the online fashion shopping is increasing enormously these days. And in order to reduce, so that we can give customers you can get some small discount by reducing a refund or something. So I think we can approach that kind of in that way.
Can you talk a little bit about the competitive advantage that you will have with this product? I mean, how difficult was it to make it, and do you see other people coming in as well?
Yeah, so we have our own. We have proprietary technology and sensors. So we developed our own sensors to get very good accuracy, and our manufacturing cost is pretty low. We are expecting about three times margin from this product. And we have 5 patents regarding this product and device and systems. So I'll say we have very good accuracy in detecting the position of the revolution. So that's what I can say about that.
So does that mean that you're making your own sensors as well?
Yes, exactly.
And so where are you manufacturing those sensors?
We are manufacturing this in Korea.
In Korea.
Yes.
And just total different topic. Explain to me a little bit the concept of login with Bagel.
So let's say you shop for clothes online, then you always hesitate which size will fit myself, because different brands has different size. So let's say you go to Zara online, a shopping site, and you log in, or you sign up with Bagel, or you log in with Bagel, and Bagel has all the, as I mentioned, your waist tag and regarding measurement data will be uploaded to our server, and you can retrieve anytime. So you log in with Bagel, and that means you are essentially logging in with your size data, your body size data. So you can see only the clothes that fit yourself, or so on.
So maybe just to go back to the question that was asked prior,
Yep.
It seems like to make this business work, you need to have the hardware distributed. So
Yeah.
everyone needs to have this hardware element or some part of that
Yes.
to measure themselves or measure something.
Yes.
So I'm trying to understand, how does this become a persistent behavior that then allows you to build a login with Bagel process that's on there. So what compels a consumer to buy this product? What compels someone to distribute it through some other device? I'm having problems with that one issue.
Yeah, that needs to be solved by business model. But as I mentioned earlier, we can give some small discount if you upload your data, because people, like, obviously, you know, the biggest problem of the online fashion shopping is that the distributors are struggling with like a really high volumes of return rate,
Right.
and so that we can kind of negotiate with those huge retailers.
And just so I understand what that means that the online merchant will give you a discount if you buy a bagel
Yes, exactly.
Measurement tape,
Yes.
and use that at home
Yeah.
to reduce returns. I mean, it
Yes.
just seems like it's 1 degree separated from what a consumer might be thinking about at the time of purchase. So I'm just trying to get the idea of how you get the consumer to think the way that you just said.
So can I didn't exactly really.
It's okay. I'm just trying to think what compels a consumer to buy for the purposes of getting a discount on online. It just seems that there's a bit of a gap there.
So I mean, as you saw on the presentation slides, so if it doesn't fit you, then it's just very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you can buy like just one shot and you get the right size.
So I think I'm having a little bit of trouble with the apparel application, because it is easier, of course, to use your device and then have it uploaded directly to your site. But at the same time, it's effectively a one-time measurement. We're not measuring our bodies all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could potentially just use a standard tape measure or something else and enter all your dimensions and do it once and enter it on your site manually. The advantage of the device is that for that one time, it's more convenient. How do you think about that?
Yeah, so I made an example regarding fashion, but I'd like to say that, you know, constructions or, you know, home improvement, they measure like 100 times per day, or, you know, like more than 100 times per month or something, right? So we are going to develop some similar kind of business model for construction or home improvement industries. So like a fashion is some easy approach so that people are able to understand easily, like in terms of like what kind of benefit they can get. So, but we're definitely going to develop business model, something related with construction and home improvement.
Okay, and actually, so related to that application, the more rugged applications, whether it's construction or home improvement, what's your price point, and B, how rugged is the device? I mean, these tape measures get dropped, they get thrown around.
Yes.
Difficult environments.
So I myself studied impact resistance analysis. So once you drop like a 1.5 meter, it's no problem at all. So it's rugged, and also in terms of water resistant, it is water resistant. But it's not. We are not going to have like IP level, but it can resist some certain level of the humidity. So we definitely they are under consideration.
And what was the price point for that?
We are going to sell at $48. $48.
Did you? Oh, never mind. It's okay.
Okay, I think we're out of time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Shark Tank. All right, so coming to us all the way from the United States of America, please welcome Sebastien Christian with OtoSense. Woohoo!
All the way from Mountain View, with a light accent from a bit further, but well. Hello everyone, hi. I'm Sebastien Christian, the CEO and founder of OtoSense. We feel safe right now because we know that if something worth paying attention to happened, we would hear it, not see it, especially if you're looking at a screen, but we would hear it. Sounds are the first source of information about our environment. From your clock alarm this morning, maybe your baby crying a siren on your way in, a strange sound in your car. Sound kept you connected constantly to your environment. Sounds are actionable. They are valuable, and OtoSense captures this value. We have designed the first software able to turn sound into meaning in real time on any platform. Launch the software, it starts detecting events using microphones and learns from the environment, from its interaction with machines and people to deliver the exact meaning the client wants. It's a deep machine learning based system. So let me give you 2 quick examples. OtoSense solves the city surveillance nightmare. This is the nightmare, you know it. Surveillance cameras tell you what happened, not what's happening. And at the same time, on 4 continents, big cities ask their suppliers to add sound recognition on top of their existing surveillance system so that they could be aware of what's happening and not about what happened. They have found us, and we are able, OtoSense, to write in real time the story of a city. And not just gunshots, but car accidents, screams, crowd panic, sirens. Today we identified 25 different events in these cities with a very reasonable accuracy. Second example, a car maker. They realized that 40% of their clients going to a garage to have their car repaired had the same problem. Problem was, I have a strange sound in my car. And you know the story, and maybe you know the Amco commercial as well. You have to get a technician, make the sound happen again, and then to know what it is. And it's a waste of time and waste of information. So this car maker has chosen OtoSense to build a solution. We have trained the system 3 months on the range of their vehicles. And now we are able to detect 65 different events in the car for which there was no sensors before, with a 95% average success rate. And stories like that, we have quite a bunch now. We had requests from many verticals, and a lot now. And we tried to work on turning this traction into an actionable business model and market strategy. So we sell a B2B software running on most platforms. The market is roughly 15 billion per year now and increasing. We sell a subscription model with an edge license and a cloud license. Edge is how we seed the market, cloud is how we get rich. Our clients are very large system integrators and device companies. We have fast go-to-market opportunities, for example, for city surveillance, and longer-term massive deals in the industrial space and in the home space. We have 6 paid pilots underway right now with company you know the name of, and only 8 months after the release of the current software. We are now raising 2 million to reach the next set of milestones within 12 months. And this is signing 6 large recurring deals, building beachhead in the first market, applying for the 5 more patents we have to apply for. This thanks to a fantastic team. We are 10 working for OtoSense today. Here the gang of 5 leading it. A nice collection of focused academic degrees, combination of acoustics, neuroscience, semantics, and artificial intelligence, and with a great business part, an experience in combined experience in more than 50 startups today. And we are OtoSense. Thank you.
Okay, I guess we have a pattern. I start first. Have you considered applying this technology for what seems to me the most obvious use case of voice, which is cell phone calls, headsets, being able to filter out noise, being able to help somebody who is doing a video conference call to recognize, okay, this is coming from this side of the room, that side of the room, this is a noise that belongs in this call, this is not. What are your thoughts around that?
We don't filter anything. The system identifies events, events being anything. The relation with phone calls would be more, what is the background? Is the person in a street or in a conference room? Or is the TV set on to eventually trigger the right noise filtering technology? Because we don't filter noise, we accept it. Because most of the time, the events we have to detect are noise, especially in machines, from a physical perspective. So we complement. Speech recognition is a niche in our market, and we don't compete with them. Sound filtering or adaptation is another part of this acoustic world, and we don't compete, but we can complement them in some way.
You mentioned a lot of different use cases for the technology. How much training for the system would be required per use case, right? Whether it's by city or by location versus car and type of vehicle, type of make or model?
Each time less. We have off-the-shelf categories. Somebody screams the same way anywhere in the world. A baby crying make roughly the same sound. We discovered that. Then for example, police sirens, we may have some change from one city to another. And here the system learns from the environment. So we pile up off-the-shelf categories, and we add on top the new categories the system learns. So it's a few weeks, a pilot phase that intends to get ready for a new machine or a new environment. It's 6 to 12 weeks.
And then with these pilots, do they actually have to, what do they have to install maybe around the city or kind of within your car?
Either they have already a device with a microphone, maybe surveillance cameras, or they have on the machine already something able to capture some data. If they have, we take it directly, and it's maybe even cloud-based computation. If they don't, we partner with large device companies to provide them with the exact device they need. For example, analog devices, Orange, and some others.
How important is the collection device? It seems like there could be noisy environments or other environments where it'd be very hard to maybe just detect the baby crying or some unique car noise.
You will have, we try to be device agnostic and microphone agnostic. For machine, we're not, because we choose the microphone, but in many other cases, the device is already there.
Yeah.
So it's not a real problem, as the best case scenario is when you don't change the device and completely change the microphone somewhere in the way. For a given device, it will work pretty well.
And it seems like you're at this point where you can go horizontal and provide this to everyone if you can, or go really vertical and own one vertical.
Yep.
How are you choosing, I guess, markets to go after? You mentioned smart city and some others.
Compared to competition is purely verticalized. I don't know, Hauger is doing rotating machine, ShotSpotter doing gunshot. We are at the very beginning of the food chain, this little piece of software you can put anywhere, and that will transform sound somewhere into the meaning you want. And so we have a very horizontal strategy. This is why our clients are system integrators and large companies. Because
how do you charge again? You mentioned this edge and cloud model.
So we have an edge license, so a per device license, and a cloud license that depends on the complexity of the model and its upgrade over time.
Okay, and the goal is to bring on businesses or system integrators and the like to use your platform and own the customer, or are you trying to own the customer directly?
We own the customer directly by the cloud relation. This is direct, but the system integrators will sell a device with OtoSense inside, and so they will sell the device and have a margin on it.
The cloud is the recurring revenue piece?
Yes, it is.
Okay, makes sense.
So with a lot of industrial applications, the sounds are very nuanced, the signatures, and they're also very, very domain specific. So my question is, when you actually tag, I assume you're doing some supervised learning and you're doing some tagging. So for example, a motor is going to have various anomalous states. You'll need an expert to identify what those sound signatures are or do the correlations. So is your software easy to learn? I mean, do you put it in the hands of the customer and have them do the tagging, or do you have to add that to your business, that service element?
It's in the process. The machine itself interacts with experts. When it's for a machine, the client provides a list of experts to interact with. And the system will basically send you a sound and the whole context and tell you, what is that, in your opinion? And doing that with many people. So basically, it's learning from as many experts as possible, pumping information and making sense of it over time. Same thing with other machines. So they may have other sensors with other information, so contextual information, and then from statistics perspective about what's happening. And when you have this combination, this is a pure neuroscience stuff. I've been working many years in that field. This is the secret sauce to make a system evolve by itself. It has to interact with the environment and with people who know about the thing it has to learn.
And my final question is, how do you decide how to price? We talked about the business model, but how do you determine the price point? Is it value-based or performance-driven?
Yes, yes. It depends on how much we save or what is the value for the customer. And this is the base for the price.
Okay,
We take a share of it.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, please welcome the final company in the IoT group, Emmanuel Demaistre from France. Redbird's the company.
And no, sorry, it's not going to fly. I'd love to. So good morning, everyone. My name is Emmanuel. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Redbird. We have developed a cloud platform for our customer to easily manage drone-acquired data on their sites, and in the end, to take better decisions. We are a 35 people company today. We have data scientists, we have PhDs, developers. After 2 years flying for various customers across Europe, we've developed a deep expertise and a specific knowledge in construction and excavation sites. That's like mines or quarries. We've partnered with industry leaders, the most recent one being Caterpillar, the largest construction equipment company in the world. We are backed by well-known corporate and private VCs. We've raised $3 million US so far in 2 rounds, and we are continuously onboarding new customers today. So our customers in the construction, mining industry, they need to track their operations. They need to have full visibility on their site, on what's happening. However, the processes today, they are slow and outdated. The surveyors like this one, they have to walk around the sites for days and measure data point after data point using their GPSs before going back to the office for some manual analysis. This is expensive, but cost isn't the only consequence. One, the information is siloed between various people, various experts within the company. Moreover, the data is often outdated. The whole process takes days, if not weeks. And even then, the customer only have a partial view of the site. So this results, the result of that is major safety violations, not to mention huge loss of productivity and sometimes even human losses. So consequently, for not adopting new technologies, construction is the very only industry in the world where productivity has declined over the past 40 years. But that is changing. And the booming drone ecosystem with new commercial drone regulation, they offer an amazing opportunity for contractors to be more efficient and more competitive. Redbird enables any drone operator to automatically do in 2 hours what used to take 2 weeks before. We have developed a very powerful mapping platform that gives the customers all the analytics and insight they need. All the drone images are automatically processed, enhanced, and delivered through the single collaboration platform that we built that can be accessed anytime, anywhere. It's not just powerful. What we are building here, it's the next generation job site management platform, thanks to streamlined drone data that is automatically processed and that can be easily and securely accessed by anyone within the company. So the customer today, they have a much better, our customers today, we have more than 50 large and small customers today using the product frequently, recurringly. They have a much better visibility on their sites. The short-term planning is way easier, and they take decisions in days rather than weeks. Moreover, all the built-in collaboration feature that we have allows information to be shared efficiently within the different people, and therefore it increases the global productivity. So unlike the general-purpose drone companies in the industry that still focus on some expensive hardware or that offer generic software feature, we provide our customer with the most extensive platform that is very user-friendly, where all the data is automatically processed. The customer accesses custom and relevant analytics, plus some job-specific applications that are developed right now on top of the platform, thanks to our API. So believe me, drone technology is to be used on every single industrial site in the world very soon. Caterpillar has chosen us after making an extensive review of the technologies available on the market, and we obviously have the more dedicated platform and solution. Right now, they are helping us to set up the standard in the industry. We're expanding globally, thanks to the Caterpillar very powerful distribution network. Only 5 months after signing and announcing the partnership, we are ready to launch operations with 30 different dealers covering 60 countries or US sites. The US drone market is opening right now with new commercial drone regulation to be published in the next few weeks. To capture that market, I moved the headquarters to California, and I'm getting ready to launch operation in the US. I'm also closing a funding round right now. We are closing a $5 million US Series A. And we are planning for the next funding round probably next year. I'm looking for more people to join us, and I look forward to talking to you more about Redbird. Thank you very much.
Very much by the use case in the market. I have two questions. First is, when you say analytics, especially when I'm doing construction or mining, are you able to understand that, okay, this much pile of coal translates to 5 tons, and it's not 4 tons, it's 5 tons? And my second question is, there's quite a few companies that are focused on construction and mining. It's a very obvious use case for drones. The first company that comes to my mind is Kespri. I'm wondering how you're different from them.
Sure. Question one is yes, obviously that's the very first information the customer are looking for, what you asked, the ton and the volumes, and how much volume is in place, and how much volume has been moved from time over time. Okay. The analytics we provide, and that's a differentiation versus other drone companies, including Kespri, but not the only one. We provide 3 layers of analytics today about production. That's what we were talking about. Productivity. What was the cost to move that volume? That's very important for the customer to follow productivity, and safety. And people in the mining industry, construction industry, pay a huge amount of money today to make sure the sites are compliant with safety rules. We definitely differentiate ourselves versus competitors like Kespri because we don't invest anything on the drone itself. Most drone companies today and most drone startups were born in the US and initially focused on the hardware itself. But the hardware is being massively commoditized by the Chinese, including DJI, which has a 75% market share today, mostly on the hobby side, but they're expanding fast and very aggressively on the hardware side. So we started to do only software, and the feature we developed are obviously way ahead of what Kespri has been building so far.
My question was actually what you just answered in terms of the hardware. So who are your current partners for drone companies that you work with for the industrial drones?
By drone company, you mean drone maker? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would say 85% of the drones that are used by your customers today are DJI drones and Parrot drones, which are number 1 and number 2 in the market. And we have a few 3DR drones, not that much, and a lot of Trimble drone in the 15% remaining, because Trimble is a big technological company and a partner of Caterpillar.
And how, so do you go through them to sell to the current customers that you have, or are you going out and signing up these customers and then convincing them to partner with that drone maker?
Actually, we have two cases. The first case is when the customer already has the drone, and it's fine because we are totally drone agnostic, so we can use any drone the customer wish. When the customer has no drone, then depending on the size of the site and depending on the accuracy he wants, then we can recommend some hardware, and therefore we have distribution agreements with DJI and Parrot to also access the hardware. And we might expand because we are not exclusive to these brands.
Whatever you can share, but what is the relationship with Caterpillar in a customer acquisition side of it?
It's a sale. We have a sales and marketing agreement, and they act as a distributor of our products. So we do not sell directly to Caterpillar. Caterpillar is promoting our solution to the customer. We sell to the customers most of the time. What is interesting here is that Caterpillar needs the customer to use drone data to better understand how the customer are working. So that we combine drone data with machine data to extract the productivity, to follow the productivity of the customer. And that's a very unique differentiator in the drone industry, in the construction space.
So just one more question on that. There's 2 ways you talked about differentiating. One is on the product, the productivity, the production, the safety, right?
Yep.
Those 3 areas. and the other one is on the sort of the general technology of capturing the images and doing something with it, like processing 2D to 3D. Can you just drill into the first part, the second part of that? Like, what is unique about the platform in that side?
That's a very interesting question. We divide processing, which means going from the individual images into 2D and 3D, and the analytics, which means extracting the KPIs and the vectors from the 3D model. Now, processing is a commodity, like the drone itself. Photogrammetry, stereoscopy, is a science, is a technique that has been around for 30 years. Making 3D models from images or 2D maps from airplanes and satellites has been around for 30 years. So we have partnered with what we found is the most advanced photogrammetry software, but you can find 30 different software on the market. Some of them are open source, some of them are very expensive, it depends.
So if I were to put my finger on what would be very hard to do, it sounds like it's the productization for the vertical in that side of it, as opposed to the collection and the image work.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And you can find many general purpose drone companies that sell maps or let's say 2D and 3D model, but a map doesn't say anything to the customer about what's going on, really. And it's not, a map is not a dashboard. And the customer gives a huge value to a dashboard and no value to a map, even if the map looks nice.
It's a while, sir. And where are you as a business? You mentioned you're launching with Caterpillar soon. In that, where are you revenue-wise or scale-wise of business?
Yeah, we already secured 500K annual recurring revenue so far with 50 customers. We might reach 1 million annual recurring revenue this year. And we started to sell the product only 6 months ago. So the traction is quite good so far.
Are you fairly agnostic to the data? So do you take image data as well as, for example, LiDAR information?
LiDAR is different because LiDAR doesn't give you don't have the pixel information, which is sometimes important for the algorithm to work. But we work with aircraft data, helicopter data. That's okay. And we could even imagine to work with satellite data one day.
And I agree with your observation that I think the analytics on the back end, that really the last mile piece is the most important. So do you have people on your team with deep kind of experience, domain experience in construction and mining?
We definitely have experts in construction and mining, and we have experts as well in deep learning techniques. We have 2 deep learning experts because we accumulate a large quantity of data, and we use the data we already have to improve the analysis that we can get thanks to all the backlog that we have from a customer. But we gain a lot of expertise also from the customer themselves, from what they say, and from Caterpillar as well.
Yeah. Great. Thanks very much. I think we're out of time.
Thank you.